Hello, this is Saurabh. In this video we are going to talk about the northern plains of our country. Let us know what is the theory behind the formation of these northern plains. So there are many theories behind the formation of northern plains, but the most believed theory is this that the northern plains were formed after the uprising of the Himalayan mountains. It is said that the depositions brought by the Himalayan rivers led to the formation of the northern plains, which is why the northern plains is mainly composed of the alluvium depositions brought by the Himalayan rivers. So what are the Himalayan rivers? There are three most important perennial or the Himalayan rivers. First, this one. This is River Indus. River Indus originates in the Kailash Parbat. River Brahmaputra, this also originates in the Kailash range. This river Brahmaputra and river Ganga, it originates in Gomti. This is river Ganga. So these are the three most important perennial rivers of the Himalayan mountains which led to the formation of the northern plains. So the northern plains are classified into two based on the regions. So they are on the mesoregions and the physiographic regions. So first let us know about the mesoregions. So when we talk about the mesoregions, there are four divisions. First, the Rajasthan plain, then the Western plain, then comes the Central plain, and then the Eastern plain. The other is the physiographic regions, which we'll study about later. And before studying about the mesoregions in detail, we'll know some information about the northern plains. So the northern plains are bounded on the north by the Shivaliks. On the north, there are the Shivalik ranges. And on the south, to the south of the northern plains, there are there is the Indian Plateau, and the northern plains are from the Rajasthan in the west to the Assam Valley or the Brahmaputra Valley in the east. According to the perennial rivers, we know that they are formed by the depositions. So we can also say that they are located between River Indus and River Brahmaputra. So the northern plains are 2,400 km long. From Rajasthan to the Assam Valley, they are 2,400 km long, and they are 500 to 150 km wide. Means their width changes according to the place. They are 500 km wide in Punjab region, and they are 150 km wide in the Assam region. And now, if we talk about the altitude here. If we talk about the altitude, the northern plains have an altitude of 150 kilometers, and as compared to it is very short. 150 meters. It is very short as compared to the Himalayan mountains, because the Himalayan mountains have an altitude of 6,000 meters. And if we talk about then the Indian Plateau, which is at the south of the northern plains, it has an altitude of 300 to 900 meters. And then if we come to the coastal plains, which are the coastlines of our country, they have an altitude of 5 to 30 meters. Now let us talk about the mesoregions of the northern plains. So first, the Rajasthan plain. So generally Rajasthan plain is studied as a separate. Rajasthan plain is studied as a separate physical division of our country, which is the Indian desert, which we'll study later. But for now, the Rajasthan plain is divided into two: Marustali and Bagar. Marustali is the actual desert region, and Bagar is the semi-arid region. Now we'll study about them detail in the Indian desert, the physical division, that is the Indian desert. Now the Western plain. From here till here, this part, it is the Western plain. This is the Western plain. So the Western plain has an average elevation of 275 meter in the northeast to the 175 meter in the southwest, and this region is mainly formed by the depositions of the river Indus and its tributaries, and mainly the river, the northern part of this region is drained by the rivers. This rivers, river Ravi. Then after this, the river Beas. Then after that, river Satluj. These rivers drain the northern part of the Western plain, and then the southern part of this region is drained by river Gagar. Here, all these rivers originate in the Shivalik range, river Gagar, and the second river which drains the southern part of Western plain is the river Yamuna. This one, river Yamuna. So this is all about the Western plain. Now after this comes the Central plain. So from here, the boundary of the Western plain to this part, this whole part comes under the Western plain. So the Central plain. So the Central plain are the most popular, highly uninterrupted deposition of alluvium soil, and they are formed by the Central plain stretches in the states of Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. The Central plain is mainly formed by the depositions brought down by the Himalayan rivers. So the Himalayan rivers. Then the Central plain is divided into three parts. It is divided into three different parts. That are the Upper Ganga plain, this part. This is the Upper Ganga plain. This is the Middle Ganga plain, and this one is the Lower Ganga plain. So when we talk about the Upper Ganga plain, this one, it is 550 kilometers long. 550 kilometers long, and it has the width of 380 kilometers. 380 kilometers, and it is located in the western Uttar Pradesh. Then we come to the Middle Ganga plain. So the Middle Ganga plain is 600 kilometers long. 600 kilometer long, and its width is 330 kilometers. 330 kilometers, and it is located in the eastern Uttar Pradesh, and it covers the whole state of Bihar. After this, the Lower Ganga plain, it is located in the state of West Bengal. And then the Himalayan rivers which bring down this alluvium deposition, they form some geographical terms. So some of the two important perennial or Himalayan rivers, river Ganga and river Yamuna, which are these. Here, the geographical term, they form a geographical feature which is a Doab. Means where the region between the two rivers, the region where people can live, this region is known as the Doab region. So the river Yamuna and river Ganga form the Doab region. This is popularly known as river Ganga Yamuna Doab. Then we can also see the meanders. So the meanders, when due to the geographical feature of that of some place, the rivers move in a zigzag manner. So these zigzag moving of the rivers is known as meanders. And at a place, because of the geographical features, if one part of the meanders separate, they form the oxbow lake. So this is all about the central plain. So after this, this is all about the central plain. Then comes the eastern plain. So the eastern plain, it has an elevation of 130 meter in the east to 30 meter in the west. Then the river Brahmaputra, as you can see here, drains the whole of the Assam, and we can also see that this eastern plain is covers whole of the Assam. So the river Brahmaputra drains whole this. So this is known as Assam Valley and also the Brahmaputra Valley. And the Brahmaputra is also called as the lifeline of Assam because it covers almost the whole part of the Assam, and its tributaries also drain in the Assam region. And this Assam Valley has an is 80 to 100 kilometer wide. This is Assam Valley. Assam Valley is 80 to 100 kilometers wide. And the thick depositions brought down by the Brahmaputra rivers are so thick that they have found and up to the depositions are up to 1500 meter thick in the Assam Valley. Then because of the river Brahmaputra, this region is also known as the floodplain. So now we have studied about all the four meso regions of this. First we have studied about the Rajasthan plain in very short, which we are going to study in detail later in the Indian desert, that is Marusthali and Bagar. Then we studied about the western plain, which is mainly drained by Indus and its tributaries and river Bias, Ravi, Satluj and Gabbar and Yamuna. Then we studied about the central plain, which is mainly drained by river Ganga. Then first Rajasthan plain, western plain. Then we studied about river Ganga, which is divided into three: upper Ganga plain, middle Ganga plain and the lower Ganga plain. We studied about their length and width. Then we studied about the eastern plain, which is drained by river Brahmaputra, and it is also called as Assam Valley or the Brahmaputra Valley. Now we shall learn about the physiographic division of the northern plain. There are 5 physiographic divisions of the northern plains. So the first physiographic division is Bhabar. Then the second division is Terai. The third is Bhangar. And the fourth is Khadar. And the fifth one is the Delta region. So first let us know what is Bhabar. So Bhabar is the region here below at the south of the Shivaliks. We can also say that this Bhabar region is parallel to the Shivaliks because the Bhabar region has a connection with these mountains. So what is Bhabar region exactly? So whenever there is a heavy rainfall, the water comes down with the water by the Himalayan rivers come down with a greater force, and this greater force bring along with them stones, pebbles, gravels and sand particles. So when these sand particles come down, they accumulate at the foothills of the Himalayas or at the foothills of the Shivaliks. So when they accumulate here, these regions where there is a huge accumulation of stones, pebbles and gravels, this is known as Bhabar. And after Bhabar, Terai are the marshy lands. And after Terai, Bhangar and Khadar. So this Bhangar and Khadar are located on the sides of the river Ganga. So Khadar and Bhangar are located on the both sides of river Ganga. So Khadar are the physiographic division which are located nearer to Ganga and Bhangar away from Ganga. So what is the reason behind that? The Khadar are the renewed fresh alluvium soil. Every year during the monsoon, whenever there is heavy rainfall, the rivers come down with greater force, and this causes flood and flood of the river, and this flood of the river carries away the soil with them, and this renews the soil every year, and because of this the soil is renewed every year. And because of this Khadar region, the regions aside them, the Bhangar are pushed away. This Bhangar region, they are pushed away, and this makes the soil older and harder because they do not get renewed. And this Terai region, it is deep because of the flood because of the river. So this Terai region Khadar region has the fresh alluvium soil, but the Bhangar are pushed away, and that's why they are older and harder. Now, let us study about the fifth physiographic division, that is the delta region. So the delta region of India is one third. It's located in India, and the remaining part is in Bangladesh. So the delta, first let us know what is delta. So a delta, the delta of a river is when at the mouth of the river with its tributaries forms a triangular shaped area at the mouth of the river. That triangular shaped area is known as a delta. So here the delta is the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. This delta is also known as the Sundarban delta. So this river Ganga, and it stretches from river Hooghly to river Meghna. This is river Brahmaputra, this is Ganga. So from here, when this Brahmaputra comes in Bangladesh, from here it is called as river Meghna. And from here, the tributary of Ganga, this river Hooghly. This river Hooghly. So between Meghna and Hooghly is the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, and between them there are many small tributaries. So this is how a delta is. So this delta, Ganga Brahmaputra delta, is almost 350 km wide at the Bay of Bengal. The delta is not only formed by the river Ganga and Brahmaputra, but there are many other rivers in India which forms the delta. So the river Meghna in Chhattisgarh and Odisha, and in the Bay of Bengal. This. River Meghna. And after river Meghna, river Godavari. This delta is formed by river Godavari. This delta by river Krishna. And after this, river Kaveri, which originates in the Karnataka at Kalakaveri, and it ends when the mouth of the river is in the Bay of Bengal in Chennai. So these are the popular deltas of our country. This Ganga Brahmaputra delta, this Meghna river delta, Godavari delta, Krishna delta, and Kaveri delta. So this is all about the northern plains of our country. Thanks for watching.